Okay, it's your boy Lando, aka the King of Film. I'm sorry I haven't been doing any movie reviews lately for you. I mean, the last couple of weeks been kind of busy and crazy, and I've been tired of doing a lot of other stuff. But if I can recall, I think the last video review I did was on Jason Goes to Hell: The Final Friday. And I remember me giving the movie a positive review because I said it was probably the best in the franchise. But let's skip all past that. We're not here to talk about Jason Go to Hell today. But today, I do want to talk about another movie. It's a sequel, and it's a horror sequel. I know y'all probably thinking, how come he's always reviewing all these horror sequels? Why don't he do anything else? We're going to get to that later. Well, we ain't going to get to that later because I'm going to eventually review movies in other genres. It's just right now, most of the times, all the movies I mostly watch are horror movies. But that's besides the point. So if you want to know what movie I'm actually talking about, I'm going to go ahead and tell you. I'm going to be reviewing today Children of the Corn 3 Urban Harvest. Now, this is the second sequel in a long list of movies that came out over the course of like 20-something years, 26 years. This movie, I'm going to be honest with you on this, but this movie surprised me. Like, I honestly didn't think I was going to like it. It was a well-done, technically well-made horror movie. It was entertaining from start to finish. I'm not going to lie, I did have some hesitations watching the movie at first and considering watching it because I thought the two previous movies that came before it was pretty mediocre. Like, part 1, it was okay. It wasn't nothing to write home about. Part 2, I just didn't like. So, part 3 just really knocked it out the ballpark. And I think the reason why part 3 was so good is because the performance by Daniel Cherney. He plays the main antagonist in the movie, and plus the child antagonist as well. He's probably the best child antagonist I've seen on film since Macaulay Culkin's performance in The Good Son way back in 92, 93. The way he can go from being so sweet and innocent and charming in one scene and then the next minute totally wreaking havoc with the people around him and in front of him, that speaks volumes of being a good actor, and especially being a good child actor. Like, I'm not going to lie, I have a major beef with children being the antagonists in films, not because I just think it's evil or immoral or wrong or anything like that. It's just the fact that they just never come off as interesting. It's just not believable. I mean, how can I be scared of a little kid? But through his performance, he makes it believable. He makes it that he's a force to be reckoned with. You don't want to mess with him. And so his performance was just really well done. I mean, it just totally amazed me. Like I said, it had to be the best child performance of an antagonist that I've seen since Macaulay Culkin's Good Son. Now, but let me be honest with you with this movie. I mean, honestly, the movie didn't have no good acting. Besides his performance, he's the only one that really saves the movie as far as being, bored with the acting performances. Because the other actors, they wasn't good. I mean, maybe the characters wasn't well written, but they just didn't evoke no type of emotion, throughout their, characteristics. So I just found them dull. The script was okay, but it was nothing to write home about. But what really makes this movie, in my opinion, is the special effects. Let me tell you something. For this to be a straight-to-home video horror movie, let me backtrack that, because I was doing my little research online, and they did say this movie did have a small, theatrical release back in 1995, but from what I remember, I think it just went straight to video, too. I think what happened was it probably was in, theaters for like a couple of, weeks or 2 weeks or so, then they went and released a straight-to-home video like a couple of months later. But for a movie of this caliber, and since this is like the second, sequel in a popular film franchise, the special effects were well done. Like, I was very impressed with them. Like, they were gory, they was nasty, they were brutal, and they were fun. I mean, it was everything I liked in a horror movie, especially a horror movie in that time period. But this also can be attributed to the great special effects mind of Screaming Mad George. Now, I don't know if y'all know Screaming Mad George because he's not highly revered, I think, in the special effects industry. Like, you know, people like Rob Bottin, what's some other names? Stan Lee and Rick Baker, people like them. But he has created special effects for numerous movies, and you probably seen his movies. Like, he done the special effects for Nightmare on Elm Street 4. He did it for Necromonicon, Book of the Dead. He did it for The Dentist with Corbin Bernsen. And I seen that movie actually last week, but I mean, I might do a review on that later. But okay, getting back to Children of the Corn, I mean, the special effects were well done. I mean, they really impressed me. Like, I was stunned. I really enjoyed the special effects, but without you can't have good special effects without good direction. And James D.R. Hickox, he does a good job, you know, bringing everything together. Now, the previous Children of the Corn films, they were set in the Midwestern, set in the country, you know, like Nebraska. But this movie, it takes the action out of Nebraska, out of the Midwest, and it uproots it to the urban city. And I thought that was an interesting concept because it shows you they were trying to keep the film series fresh. And never a moment in the movie feels dull or stale. Now, I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to ruin anything for you, but the last 15 minutes is kind of cheesy and tacky. And it's funny that I think this way because I was doing a lot of research on message boards because I love to read user comments and fan comments on what they thought about the movie. And mostly everybody agreed that the last 15 minutes is kind of tacky. But for those little 15 minutes of tackiness, that doesn't compare to the 85% awesomeness that's in this movie. I mean, the movie is just awesome. I mean, I just can't stop gushing over this movie because I was just so surprised that it was good. Like, you just don't expect the movie of this, you know, caliber to be good. Not because it's a sequel, not because it might have went straight to video. It just, you just don't expect it to be good, especially since the two previous entries, in my opinion, wasn't all that good. So, I mean, I guess I could just say I was just impressed with the movie. To be honest with you, I haven't seen the rest of the Children of Corn movies. I mean, as we speak, tonight, I just finished watching Children of the Corn 4, The Gathering. And that was a good movie, too. That surprised me as well. But I don't think I like that as much as nearly as Part 3. It's just, Part 3 was just a well-done movie. And I think part of its charm and part of its, you know, goodness is due to the fact that it was a mid-90s horror movie. It's like it has mid-90s written all over it. From the style, the influence, the atmosphere, you know, the way things went. It was just a mid-90s horror movie. You could just tell it was a mid-90s horror movie because it was on that, when that movie was made, it was on that verge of change in a horror genre, you know, where things became more modern, more MTV-style horror movies. Which I'm not saying that was a bad thing, but it really worked well for the Children of the Corn 3. Well, that's basically all I have to say about that movie. If you haven't seen it, you know, it's worth at least a look. Because it's just a good movie. So, in the meantime, this is your boy Orlando, a.k.a. the King of Film. I mean, just keep your head up. Keep watching those movies. God bless.